The summer, let me tell you something. The summer of Tire Rack Sweepstakes rolling on. On and on and on and on. It's not over. No, we're in August now, and it's heating up. Not only the weather's heating up, but this contest is heating up as well. One winner has already been selected. Can you believe that? We've had one winner already selected for a set of 4 brand spanking new tires. How sweet is that? And now 2 more winners have the opportunity to have their name picked out of the hopper. And you can get a set of 4 brand new tires plus installation. Right? That's included in this. The taxes, the fees, you ever bought tires before, they always add those extra things on. All that's covered. Boom! All of it's covered right there. Valued at up to $1,500, depending on which tires you end up with. I recommend the most expensive because it's a contest. If you win the contest, just enjoy them. Have a great time. So, listen, enter daily. Enter right now. Enter tomorrow. Enter the next day. Every single day. 1 new entry per listener. Per day there. You enter the contest, and every single day, you boost your chances to win, and you could be the lucky winner. So, again, 2 more winners will take home a set of 4 brand spanking new tires. You love that smell of rubber. Yeah, you get that. Through August 27th. To enter and get all the rules, regulations, and all that, go to foxsportsradio.com, your new favorite website. foxsportsradio.com, sponsored by tirerack.com, the way tire buying should be.
But we've learned that Anthony Richardson, who? Anthony Richardson, guy hardly played college football, and now he's been given the keys to the castle, as he is now going to be the starting quarterback for the Colts. Richardson beating out my guy, Minshew Mania, Gardner Minshew, who will be the backup. Shane Steichen, who's that? He's apparently the coach, we're told, of the Colts, making the announcement that it is official. Richardson will be the starting quarterback when they kick off here in early September, when Indy opens up the regular season against Jacksonville. The prized first-round pick will be leading the huddle. So let us discuss. The question on this one, the question is, what is your position on Anthony Richardson getting the starting gig for the Colts? So I've got Boiling Cauldron, Day Spa, and Grand Canyon. And we will combine all of these random things together, and we are going to make some raw garlic, which I've been sucking on the last 48 hours. And by the way, let me tell you something. You might think I sound like crap, but without the garlic, I wouldn't even be here. So thank the power of the garlic. But anyway, let's start with this. The Anthony Richardson starting quarterback position for the Colts gets the Maller seal of approval. And I know that matters to Jim Irsay. It matters to the Colts to get the Maller seal of approval. Now, that does not mean that I believe that Anthony Richardson's going to be good. I think he'll be lousy. I think he'll suck out loud. He'll be a bag of puke. But you still got to play him. You got to play him. So good job by Irsay and the Colts putting him out there. You need to know what you have. You don't know what you don't know you don't get better by not playing. And what about Mahomes? Well, Mahomes in Kansas City, he didn't start right away. They had Alex Smith. Yeah, okay. Yeah, and I would argue that Mahomes was a prodigy and would have been fine if he had started from Jump Street. And you'll never know either way because he didn't. So there's plenty of examples if you want. It's one of those things where you look at the examples to fit your argument. I can find a bunch of quarterbacks that played right away were fine. There's a bunch that played right away and are selling insurance. So that does happen. But Richardson is he's like undercooked fish. And I don't like fish, but undercooked fish, he just has to get a lot of reps. To think that this guy hornswoggled NFL teams, Anthony Richardson, to draft him in the top 5, in this case the Colts here, when Richardson had less than 400 passes attempted for the Florida Gators. That is bupkis. That is absolute bupkis. And you don't know how it's gonna go as far as the undercooked fish in Richardson. You don't know how it's gonna taste and all that stuff. But we have long been supporters. I've been asked this every year. We have a new crop of quarterbacks that come in, and my answer has been very consistent. I like the sink or swim technique. You toss them out into the ocean and see if they are buoyant or not, and whether these young quarterbacks, these first-round picks, are able to get it done. But Richardson is going into the boiling cauldron, if you will, the baptism by fire. And he said he was, quote, shocked. That was the word he used by the news, which is confusing. It is confusing to me. I don't know if it's confusing to you, because why would you be shocked? You were a top 5 pick, and there's no incumbent quarterback there. The guy that was there last year, Matty Ice, is now doing television at CBS. And then you look around, it's like, what are we doing? You're the number 4 pick in the draft. It is going to be so repulsive to start the year for Indianapolis. I mean, they're going to have to run. So this year is essentially a throwaway season for the Colts. And Shane Steichen, the head coach that came over from Philadelphia, imagine that we'll see a lot of the tushy-pushy, which he had in Philadelphia, and they'll bring that to Indianapolis. And that should be an amazing play for Anthony Richardson, that they'll copy the playbook on short yardage situations that Philadelphia did with Jalen Hurts. But other than that, I don't get it. We'll see. All right, now, turning the page. Now, in Jacksonville, the Jaguars head coach Doug Peterson, he was laying it on thick. Extra frosting for Doug Peterson, and he was helping Trevor Lawrence here. He said, talking to reporters this week, Doug Peterson claimed that Trevor Lawrence is already in the upper echelon of quarterbacks, not just in the NFL right now, but all time. Say what? Yeah. That's Doug Peterson pumping up the tires on Trevor Lawrence. He praised Lawrence's confidence, says it's incredible, and that his leadership ability stood out and all that. But do you believe, let me just ask you this, do you believe that Trevor Lawrence is already one of the all-time great quarterbacks in the NFL? And I am shaking my head no. I am shaking my head. It's kind of obvious no, right? I don't know anyone that thinks, other than if your last name's Lawrence, or you happen to have a small ownership stake in the Jacksonville Football Club, that you would say, hey, we agree. And I like Trevor Lawrence. But I also realize, wait a minute here. We're voting no. The jury is still out on Trevor Lawrence. And he was amazing last season, seemed to get better as the year went on for Jacksonville. Outstanding. But regardless of that, to be an all-time great, I think you have to be on the old assembly line. Not the Model T assembly line, but you have to continue year after year. And one thing that is as clear as vodka is that Doug Peterson, with these comments about his quarterback, he went to the day spa. And he didn't just go for the cheapest item at the day spa. No. He went mani-pedi, and he said, no loofah. I'll just use my tongue, and I'll give a tongue bath to my quarterback, Trevor Lawrence. And that's what appears to have happened. And again, we think Lawrence is really good. Not one of the all-time greats, but what do we know? All right, last word here. So let's go now to Northern California, the Bay Area. They say they're San Francisco 49ers, but they don't play in San Francisco. They play down the road. Anyway, Brock Purdy. He has a chokehold, Brock Purdy, on the 49ers starting quarterback job. That is not my opinion. That is a fact. Quote, bouncing around from Kyle Shanahan, asked about whether or not Purdy will continue to be the starting quarterback coming off an injury, surgery, and all that. Shanahan giving the great quip that has bounced all over the place. Kyle Shanahan said he would have to melt in practice to lose it. And Brock's too good of a player to melt in practice. Yeah. That would be something. But I think melt, he means like flop sweat, right? That flop sweat when you fall apart and all that. But the question on this one, and the team doctors there for the Niners have cleared Purdy to practice back-to-back days, so everything is surprisingly heading towards him playing. Did not see that on my chart when we heard he had surgery. This guy named Roberto used to be here. We were talking about it. He's not going to play. He'll miss some games, but it appears that he is actually going to play. So what does Kyle Shanahan's statement about Brock Purdy really mean? Is there a deeper meaning? Parsing the words, as we are known to do here, it is an indictment of Trey Lance is what it is. It's an indictment of Trey Lance, and the 49ers could have slow-walked Brock Purdy on the return because he had the operation. However, they're not doing that, and the reason why they're not doing that, you can blame the Grand Canyon if you want. There is such a massive gap, a hole in the ground there between Brock Purdy and Trey Lance that the Niners are not even going to masquerade and pretend and play make-believe that they're going to go with Trey Lance. And there's chatter that Trey Lance won't even be the backup quarterback. He's going to get beat out by Sam Darnold. Say what? Yeah. Now, you talk about a new low. And the 49ers, they traded 3 first-round draft picks. Now, I don't have a problem trading 3 first-round draft picks. I F them picks. But you got to get more than Trey Lance. I mean, this guy's a bum. The guy's a bum. They traded a 3rd-round pick and 3 first-round picks. And the Dolphins, they've monetized those picks, but that doesn't mean the 49ers would have monetized the picks. The Niners, the picks they traded, the Dolphins used to get Jalen Waddle. They traded one of them for Tyreek Hill, and they got another draft pick. They traded a couple picks to get Bradley Chubb from the Broncos. So the Niners put all of their chips, all of them, in the middle of the table, and they bet on the wrong horse, the Trey Lance horse, and they got the booby prize. And not the kind of booby prize you want. They got the other booby prize you don't really want.